Femi never knew that his decision to marry Bucky would be the best and worst decision he'd ever make. It was the beginning of a beautiful but heartbreaking journey. After weeks of talking to his mother about Bucky, he finally found the courage to tell her he wanted to marry the village girl. His mother, who had rejected so many women from the city, was overjoyed. She had always believed that Bucky, despite being simple and from the village, was the kind of woman who would make him happy. "I am so proud of you, Femi," his mother said, tears of joy welling up in her eyes. "I always knew Bucky was the right one for you." Femi smiled, not fully understanding the weight of what he was stepping into. His mother encouraged him to move quickly, saying, "If you don't, some other man will take her." With his mother's blessing, Femi arranged an engagement party. 3 weeks later, they had a grand wedding that the entire city of Lagos and the town of Ondo talked about for months. It was everything a wedding should be: elegant, classy, and full of life. After the wedding, Femi and Bucky moved into his mansion in Lagos. It was beautiful, modern, and everything Bucky had ever dreamed of. Bucky had always wanted a big life, but she never imagined it would come this quickly. Femi made sure she lacked nothing. He bought her a car, hired a driver, a cook, and even a maid to take care of the house. He told her, "You don't have to worry about anything. I will take care of you. Just focus on making yourself happy, and we'll take things one step at a time." For a while, Bucky was happy. She was living the dream she never thought possible. But as the days passed, the house started feeling emptier. It was just her, the driver, the cook, and the maid. Femi would leave for work every morning, and she'd find herself alone in the mansion with nothing to do but think. One day, as she sat on the porch looking out at the gate, a woman from next door waved at her. Bucky smiled and waved back. The woman came closer and introduced herself as Titi. "Hi, I'm Titi, your neighbor. I just wanted to say hello," she said with a warm smile. "Hello, I'm Bucky," Bucky replied. "It's nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too. You know, I've been living next door for a while, but I haven't had the chance to talk to you," Titi said. "Are you free? Maybe you'd like to come over for a drink sometime." Bucky was lonely, and the idea of having someone to talk to sounded comforting, so she agreed. From that day, Titi began visiting Bucky almost every morning when Femi was at work. They'd sit for hours, talking about everything from fashion, movies, gossip, and everything in between. Bucky told Titi about her struggles with being alone, and Titi listened patiently, offering comforting words. One day, during one of Titi's visits, Bucky asked, "So, what do you do for a living?" Titi shrugged and smiled. "I work online. I do remote work, which gives me a lot of free time to do other things." Bucky nodded, but she noticed something strange. In the evenings, she would sometimes see Titi leaving her house, dressed in expensive clothes, entering big cars, or getting into an Uber. Bucky wondered where she was going, but she didn't ask. It didn't seem like something she should question. Femi, one evening, saw Titi leaving just as he was returning home from work. He didn't say anything, but his eyes followed her as she got into a sleek black car and drove away. Later that night, when Bucky mentioned that she had made a new friend, Femi's face darkened. "Be careful, Bucky," he said, his voice tinged with suspicion. "I don't trust anyone from this neighborhood. They might have their own hidden motives." Bucky was taken aback. "Femi, she's just a friend." "I know," he replied, "but trust me, not everyone is who they seem to be." Bucky didn't listen to him. She was just happy to have someone to talk to, someone who understood her loneliness. Over time, Titi's visits became more frequent. Bucky felt like Titi was her only real friend in the city. But one night, after a few months, something shifted. Bucky was sitting in the living room, feeling restless, when Titi came over. She seemed a little more intense than usual. "Are you happy?" Bucky?" Titi asked. "Are you truly happy living like this?" Bucky blinked, surprised. "What do you mean?" "I mean," Titi continued, "look at you. You have everything, money, a house, a husband who provides. But you're lonely. Your husband is always away, working. And he doesn't seem to care about the one thing you've been wanting, children. Maybe he's not as invested in you as you think." Bucky was shocked by Titi's words. "What are you saying, Titi?" "Look," Titi said, her voice lowering, "do you ever ask yourself why Femi married you? Is it because he loves you, or is it because you're someone he can control? He has everything, money, power. You're just someone he can keep in his control while he lives his life." Bucky stared at her, speechless. Her mind raced. "No, Titi. That's not true." Titi ignored her protest. "Why do you think he hasn't let you start your fashion business? Why do you think he never talks about having kids? Maybe he just wants someone who doesn't challenge him. Someone who will stay home, keep quiet, and be the perfect wife. But you, Bucky, you deserve more. You should get out and enjoy the life of the city. Have fun. You deserve to live like those women in the city who have everything." Bucky felt a knot form in her stomach. "You should wear better clothes," Titi added. "Look at your hair. Why don't you try bone straight hair? And long nails. You need to look the part. You can't just stay here looking like this." Bucky was torn. Part of her wanted to believe Titi. She had always wanted more than what her simple life had to offer. But deep down, she felt guilty for thinking like this. Was she betraying her marriage? Was she being ungrateful? That night, when Femi came home, Bucky was quiet, withdrawn. She had been lost in thought, trying to process everything Titi had said. Femi noticed immediately. "Bucky, what's wrong?" he asked, worried. "You've been quiet all evening." She shrugged, trying to hide her inner turmoil. "Nothing, Femi. Just tired, that's all." Femi didn't believe her. He could tell something was wrong, but he didn't push her. "If something's bothering you, you can always talk to me. You know that, right?" Bucky nodded, but deep inside, she felt a growing distance between them. The next morning, Femi surprised her by suggesting they go to the doctor to get checked for fertility issues. "I know you've been struggling with not being able to conceive, but maybe we can find out if there's something wrong," he said softly. They went to the hospital, sat across from the doctor, who looked concerned as she spoke to them. "Both of you are healthy. There's nothing physically wrong with either of you. Just be patient. It will happen." But Bucky wasn't fine. She wanted answers. "Then why am I not getting pregnant?" Femi took her hand, trying to comfort her. "It's okay, Bucky. It will happen when it's meant to." But deep down, Bucky was afraid. She wasn't sure if it was her body that was failing, or if there was something more going on. As the days passed, Titi continued to visit, and Bucky found herself growing more and more distant from her husband. She felt like she was falling into a trap she couldn't escape from. The more Titi spoke about city life, the more she felt a pull towards something she wasn't sure she could have. Femi, however, remained unaware of the growing tension in their home. He was busy with work, thinking everything was fine, but he was wrong. What Femi didn't know was that he was about to lose everything in a way he never expected. And Bucky? She was about to make a decision that would change everything.